Kristen just showed us that it's a very active morning out there, and hours continues now, hours after a soaking across the state. In the southeast side of Albuquerque, the rain quickly filled the streets. Residents there did see some minor flooding, but really not enough to stop cars from driving through. On Paseo, I-25, the rain poured on the afternoon commute. In Grants, though, the roads quickly flooded. That caused drivers to take extra precaution on the road. In the capital city, a similar sight to what we saw in Albuquerque as the rain fell into the night.
Here comes the rain again, right? Stay one step ahead of the storm by downloading our KRQE weather app. Turn out to this. A Santa Fe police detective will be in Albuquerque today to question one of the suspects in that day-long SWAT situation.
And they say that suspect is no stranger to the law and now wanted for an armed robbery in the capital city. Sky News caught 28-year-old Alicia Lopez and her accomplice, 36-year-old Martin Duran, being arrested yesterday after they stayed in the loft of a tire shop near Louisiana and Zuni for hours. That entire ordeal shut down a whole neighborhood.
I kept trying to get to my apartment and everything's all blocked off.
They shut down all the streets.
There's always something going on over here.
It's extremely frustrating.
And authorities say the whole thing started when these two carjacked an 81-year-old woman Tuesday in the Northeast Heights. Police spotted the stolen white Chevy SUV yesterday morning. That's when they say Lopez and Duran took off. Police gave chase, and it ended again at the tire shop near Louisiana and Zuni. 3 hours in, Lopez surrendered. Duran stayed holed up for 8 hours. After 400 phone calls and a few flashbang explosions, the SWAT team was able to go in and pull Duran out. So we did some digging on this and found that both Duran and Lopez have long criminal histories. Online court records show he has been arrested for extortion, rape, fleeing from police, assault, armed robbery, car theft, and felon in possession of a gun. Alicia Lopez has been in trouble for everything from armed robbery to stealing cars. We told you yesterday she was also wanted in Santa Fe for robbing a gas station. We're staying on top of all the details surrounding that SWAT situation. For more, just go to the KRQE News app.
It's now 6:04. Happening right now, firefighters in California, they continue to battle a string of wildfires amid soaring temperatures and high humidity there. There it is right there. On Wednesday, residents and fire crews in Lake County, northwest of Sacramento, are forced to evacuate. Officials say the fire there is traveling at a rapid rate of speed. Crews have been trying to attack the fire from both the ground and the air.
6:05 and happening now. Albuquerque police are looking for more possible robbery victims after a murder suspect was connected to a string of thefts. The murder victim, C&M student Jared Clark, was shot and killed in the South Valley last month. 20-year-old Emilio Marquez is now accused of selling drugs to Clark, killing him, and stealing his car. Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputies say the investigations turned up some evidence that Marquez was involved in other violent crimes in the month of June.
And this morning, we're getting a look at the two 14-year-olds charged with murder for the shooting death of a beloved Albuquerque bartender in his driveway. News 13 obtained the photographs of Enrique Palomino and Matthew Baldonado overnight. They're both charged as juveniles in the murder of Stephen Garrick last month. 4 other teens are charged as adults. Bernalillo County initially refused to release their mugshots, saying it violated privacy laws because they're minors. But News 13 questioned that policy. Soon after, the county reversed its decision. Happening today, teams will be examining fragments of an airplane found on an island off of Africa's east coast.
This comes as investigators believe that it might be debris from the missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. Right now, investigators believe the 6-foot-long piece of debris appears to be a Boeing 777. It's the same model as the missing flight of MH370. So this plane was traveling, as you may remember, from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing in March 2014 when it went missing.
We turn out to a live look over New York this morning, where health officials there are trying to get to the bottom of an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease. So far, there have been 31 cases reported there. Since early July, 2 people have died. The disease is a form of bacterial pneumonia, which can spread by water droplets through air conditioning and similar systems, including hot tubs and whirlpools.
Let's show you some new helmet cam video here that shows an SUV hitting a biker and then taking off afterward.
Actually, this is a stolen iPad story.
Why don't you take on that one?
Well, let's go to this one.
Okay.
Police in Florida are trying to track down this low-down crook you just saw right there. He swipes an iPad from a 4-year-old boy right out of his hands. Take a look at the video again. It happened inside a nail salon. Customers say the crook kept casing the building before walking inside, grabbing the iPad right there, and he just takes off. The little boy's mom says she works at the salon. Her son spends his time there watching his cartoons while she's working. As you can see, customers tried to chase after the teen With no luck, they can't find him, and hopefully somebody sees this video and turns him in.
Wow.
Can
That's
you believe
unfortunate.
that?
I can't believe that. It's like stealing candy from a baby,
Like
they say,
stealing candy
right?
from a baby.
It's the saying.
Poor little guy. Start with this morning. The AFD chief is responding to criticism after one of his dispatchers handled this 911 call. Take a listen.
Is he breathing?
He's barely breathing. How many times do I tell you?
Okay, you know what, ma'am? You could deal with yourself. I'm not going to deal with this, okay?
No, my friend is dying.
So yesterday, the chief spoke to News 13 about then firefighter Matthew Sanchez. He's the dispatcher you just heard. The 911 call was for 17-year-old Manzano High student Jaden Chavez Silver. He was shot. He later died. Sanchez quit yesterday, but some are asking why he was not fired immediately.
It's clear when you listen to the 911 recording about what happened. There's not a whole lot of question there, but it's about the process of making sure due process is carried out carefully and correctly.
So the chief acknowledges the call went terribly wrong, but says they started investigating immediately and have to follow procedures before firing someone.
That story is gaining national attention after the 911 call was released. It's been picked up, by the way, by USA Today and the Washington Post. That prompted a lot of questions, and AFD says they have gotten angry calls and people blasting the department on social media. Chief Downey says his department is working now to earn back the community's trust. 6:33, a developing story also gaining national attention this morning. A Minnesota dentist who killed a well-known lion in Africa is telling his patients to find another practice.
Extradite Palmer.
Walter James Palmer remains secluded as protesters demonstrate outside his office. Palmer's been the target of outrage across the globe after killing Zimbabwe's beloved Cecil the lion. His guide is now accused of luring that animal off a protected reserve to a nearby farm. Both the guide and the farm's owner appeared in court yesterday on charges that they aided in an illegal hunt. Officials in Zimbabwe say they intend to pursue poaching charges against Palmer. The governor of Minnesota is also expressing his outrage.
I'm just so disgusted with that man and shoot any lion, but lure a lion like that out of the preserve and shoot him. I mean, how could anybody think that's sport?
Some supporters could also be seen destroying the makeshift memorial for the lion outside the dentist's office. Palmer says he regrets the hunt and says he trusted the expertise of his guides.
We turn out to news happening today. The former University of Cincinnati police officer accused of shooting an unarmed man during a traffic stop will be arraigned on a murder charge. A quick warning, the video you're about to see is graphic. Prosecutors released a body camera video showing what happened. In it, you can see Officer Ray Tensing pull Samuel DeBose over. He asks the driver to unbuckle his seatbelt, but when the man starts his car, the officer yells "stop" twice, then shoots him in the head, killing him. The officer says he fired because he feared of being dragged under the vehicle.
People don't get shot for a traffic stop unless they're violent towards the police officer. And he wasn't.
So Tensing's attorney says the officer broke down in tears when the indictment was announced. He faces life in prison if convicted.
A civil suit filed in federal court is raising some questions about an aspiring musician's story. He claims the DEA wrongfully took the money while he was traveling through Albuquerque. 22-year-old Joseph Rivers was traveling by train from Detroit to L.A. in April. DEA agents searched his bags and they confiscated $16,000 in cash, claiming it was drug money. Rivers says he was using that cash to make a music video.
My dream is basically just put on ice right now. It's put on hold until I can get the funds again.
Since that seizure, Rivers has made a GoFundMe page to raise the money he says was stolen back. So far, more than $7,000 has been donated. Court documents, though, show he's been arrested 4 times since 2010 for drugs. The DEA says its dog sniffed out an illegal substance odor on Rivers' money after they confiscated it. Rivers has not been charged in that case.
We turn out to this. We're just weeks away from the fall semester starting up at both UNM and NMSU.
And did you know the first few weeks are the most dangerous for female freshmen? It's called the Red Zone. News 13's Catherine Mazzone found out that UNM is taking extra steps right now to keep students safe. Catherine?
That's right, Adam. It's one of the reasons why UNM is preparing its freshmen with a new course on sexual assaults and rape. Another reason, they want to make sure they're complying with federal laws and regulations. Student leaders say it's about protecting the pack by bringing greater attention to an important issue.
It's a topic that UNM is really trying to focus on, and it kind of gives it a more direct approach.
He's talking about sexual assault. This year, UNM rolled out a new curriculum for incoming freshmen when it comes to sexual misconduct education. It's called the Gray Zone.
I think we're talking more honestly and openly about these issues in a much broader sense.
Student Affairs Specialist Lisa Lindquist says the new class highlights more, from reporting and bystander intervention to consent.
Consent is huge.
Lindquist says the class is also structured differently. 2 orientation leaders do the gray area presentation. It was put together by a woman from the UNM Women's Resource Center. From there, they break into small student-led groups for discussion.
It's not just someone standing up in front of them and going, you shouldn't do this, or you should do that, or this is right and this is wrong. It's more about, let's just have a conversation.
In years past, Lindquist says they used to do skits covering everything from sexual misconduct to drinking, but changed the format to help with compliance. She says they want to ensure they're in line with federal laws pertaining to campus crime and discrimination. Students we spoke to are divided on the new layout.
Either way, it's like an uncomfortable thing to talk about, but I think a skit made it more relatable to what they could possibly be going through.
Because I think sometimes people don't believe that it actually is happening unless you bring them the facts.
Lindquist also touted their new Lobo Respect Advocacy Center, a place she says will provide a first stop for crisis intervention. Back to you.
Catherine, thank you. For more information about Lobo Respect and the gray area, you can head to the KRQE News app. We've posted all of the curriculum right there.
Also new this morning, UNM also has a new layout for their alcohol prevention class. The university is getting help from Bernalillo County's DWI prevention program. Now, in the DWI prevention program presentation, it challenges what people think happens when drinking alcohol. Since many first-time college students have drank alcohol before, they may have their own ideas of the effects.
We're letting people know that it's the thinking, not the drinking, that causes most of the good effects associated with alcohol. And when you understand that you get these mental effects, why drink till you're hungover or till where you're throwing up or passing out?
And get this, that contractor you just saw right there, he says nationwide about 9% of freshmen who don't return to college say drinking was the reason. Wow, that's a pretty big number.
Sure is. Moving on.
So we're moving on to this. New this morning, 3 members of a college fraternity are now suing Rolling Stone magazine.
That group claims the magazine libeled their fraternity in a story which accused their members of gang raping a woman. Rolling Stone retracted that story after questions arose over the magazine's reporting, and the article was discredited. They are seeking unspecified damages for defamation. Meanwhile, Rolling Stone's managing editor, Will Dana, announced that he would leave the magazine next month. It's not clear if his departure is connected to the discredited rape story.
Okay, look at that video there. It's a mother out of Oklahoma who was arrested for child abuse after a pair of Good Samaritans rescued her 1-year-old from her hot car. The couple says the woman was in a Walmart and did not return until an hour after the girl was rescued. They say the driver's side door was unlocked the whole time, and that's how they were able to get the girl out. They say the toddler was very lethargic and dripping with sweat. The mother came out as paramedics were treating her. The cops were also on scene.
Are you married? Yes, sir. You need to call your husband and you need to have him come here right now because you're going to jail.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
So police say the woman had her teen daughter and some other people with her inside the store, but somehow the girl was forgotten in the car. No word if the people with her will face any charges as well, and it's very dangerous. You know, we spoke to some experts last week about this. Babies cannot regulate their temperature. They don't sweat as well as adults, and that's why this situation happens so quickly.
I know, it happens all too often, too. Tough to watch that, too, as that unfolded.